Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Evanston. I am the Reverend Eileen Wiviott. I'm the senior minister of this congregation, and I use she, her pronouns. Whether this is your spiritual home or you are newly discovering this community, we are so grateful to share this time with you today. We strive to be an inclusive and welcoming community, seeking truth and love, and nurturing the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and our values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us is worthy of love and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. We come together to remember our kinship with one another and to hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention, and to dedicate ourselves more fully to living our shared values. People of all ages are a welcome and important part of this faith community. We are blessed to have the children in the sanctuary for the first half of every service, and the entire service is for all ages about once a month, including next Sunday, which is our Easter Sunday service, will be an all ages service. The nest in the front is our designated area for families. Of course, families are welcome throughout the sanctuary and move about freely as you wish. But we have quiet fidget toys here and activities and a kid-friendly order of service. And nursery care is available every Sunday in room 11, which is in the lower level, which you can get to through the stairs at the back of the sanctuary. As part of being a welcoming community, we have some information posted on the screen that will help orient you to UCE and to our service. And I have a few announcements. We have one more board big questions conversation coming on this Tuesday, 22nd a.m. So please check the newsletter for information about that. Next weekend, we have a Passover Seder on Friday evening for all ages, and on Easter Sunday, we will have a potluck brunch, our annual, second annual, Spring Peeps show, and an egg hunt on the lawn. So bring a dish to share if you can, and stay for kinship time, and look for details in the newsletter. I also want to just point out that Ellen Rieger is going to be starting a grief group. There's details about that in the newsletter. If you've experienced grief recently, please feel invited and encouraged to participate in this, I think it's an 8-week session of grief support. And now let us settle into our shared time of reflection, celebration, and inspiration as we begin our worship service. Those joining us online are invited to gather your chalice and join as we begin beloved community. Welcome to worship. Oh yeah, that's right, I got it.
The Unitarian Church of Evanston resides on land that was recorded as being transferred from the local Potawatomi community to the U.S. government in 1829. Shortly before the Potawatomi, hard word pronounced, Potawatomi in this area were forcibly removed west of the Mississippi River. This land was then sold to white settlers. We remember the ancestors of contemporary African Americans, the individual families and networks of Black people who built up our country's cultures and economy. A role enforced on them originally by enslavement. We acknowledge the impacts of the intentional violence of the Middle Passage and enslavement, which echoes through the generations that and remain a reality today. We offer these acknowledgments as one small effort toward building long-term solidarity with contemporary communities. We commit ourselves to incorporate these admissions into our life and turn our thought into actions. Please join in the words of the shared commitment. We name these realities with honor for all the ancestors, respect for our descendants, and gratitude for the land we use as sacred space.
Renee Gatsis and Eileen Howard brought the flowers in honor of Renee's father, John, who would have been 100 years old on April 9th. He practiced agape love, which among other things extends understanding and forgiveness to everyone. As they light our chalice, symbol of our living tradition, please join in the words on the screen. Joy, filling, jumpy, starting thing that is, often finds its true voice within the opposite joy. Joy exists as a bright and insistent family of defiance within the darkness of the world. Please rise in body or spirit and join in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Before we sing our opening hymn, I invite those joining online to greet one another in the chat. And if you're here in the sanctuary, please turn to one another and say good morning and try to meet somebody that you haven't met before. Please stay after the service and continue your conversations during our kinship time. And if you're new to UCE, please stop by the welcome table with the red tablecloth at the back where members of our membership teams will be there to answer your questions and give you more information. Let us join in singing our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. With feeling, people.
Rejoice for today's Time for All Ages, we have a skit to share with you called Tomato on Board. What you don't know until you carry a tomato seedling through the airport and onto a plane is that carrying a tomato seedling through the airport and onto a plane will make people smile at you, almost like you're carrying a baby, a quiet baby. I did not know this until today, carrying my little tomato about 3 or 4 inches high in its 4-inch plastic starter pot, which my friend Michael gave me, smirking about how I was going to get it home. Something about this, at first, felt naughty. Not comparing a tomato to a baby, but carrying the tomato onto the plane. And so, I slid the thing into my bag while going through security. Which made them pull my bag for inspection. When the security guy saw it was a tomato, he smiled and said, "I don't know how to check that. Have a good day." But I quickly realized that one of its stems, which I almost wrote as arms, was broken from the jostling, and it only had 4 of them. So I decided I better just carry it in the open. And the shower of love began. Before boarding the final leg of my flight, one of the workers said, "Nice tomato," which I don't think was a come-on. And the flight attendant asked about the tomato at least 5 times, not an exaggeration, every time calling it my tomato. "Where's my tomato? How is my tomato? You didn't lose my tomato, did you?" She even directed me to an open seat in the exit row. "Why don't you guys go sit there and stretch out?" I gathered my things and set the little guy in the window seat so she could look out. When I got my water, I poured some into the little guy's container, careful not to snap another arm off. And when we landed and the pilot put the brakes on hard, my arm reflexively went across the seat, holding the little guy in place, the way my dad's arm would when he had to brake hard in the car without seatbelts to speak of, in one of my favorite gestures in the Encyclopedia of Human Gestures. The end.
I invite us to settle now into a time of quiet reflection as we share our joys and sorrows, which you are always invited to share if you'd like them spoken aloud in this book, found at the table right as you enter the sanctuary. You can email me or Reverend Susan or fill out the form found on the homepage of our website. We listen to these offerings with tenderness and with respect and care for one another. So we try to quiet our bodies and our minds and our voices as best we're able by taking in a deep breath together. Let's do that now. These are the joys that have been shared today. Sorrow for Kilmar Abrego Garcia and Audrey Romero, 2 of many people held in CECOT, the prison in El Salvador, to which immigrants here have been sent. So many immigrants have been sent. Hopes for their survival, health, and safe return, as well as a swift end to the hideous injustice that is unfolding in our country. And in remembrance of David Tatarowitz, loving father and grandfather who passed 1 year ago, we hold his spirit in our souls. And we know, of course, that there are many joys and sorrows on our hearts that may be too tender to say out loud, but we nonetheless would like to recognize them in community. So we light a chalice, or we light a candle at one of the tables. There's one here in front, 2 on the sides, and we also have a well of tears in which you may place a stone. If you'd like to do so, please come forward now. For these joys, we give our thanks. For these sorrows, we give our love. I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation, this prayer, Welcome Morning by Anne Sexton. There is joy in all. In the hair I brush each morning, in the cannon towel newly washed that I rub my body with each morning, in the chapel of eggs I cook each morning, in the outcry from the kettle that heats my coffee each morning, in the spoon and the chair that cry, "Hello there, Anne," each morning, in the Godhead of the table that I set my silver plate cup upon each morning. All this is God, right here in my pea green house each morning. And I mean, though I often forget to give thanks, to faint down by the kitchen table in a prayer of rejoicing as the holy birds at the kitchen window peck into their marriage of seeds. So while I think of it, let me paint a thank you on my palm for this God, this laughter of the morning, lest it go unspoken. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young. Amen. As we sing our response, number 413, Go Now in Peace by Natalie Sleeth, feel free to name the holy as you are moved to name the holy. And our young people, preschool through 5th grade, will head to their faith formation time with their adult leaders.
As we say in our covenant each Sunday, service is our law. UCE is called by our mission, values, and principles to contribute to our community, to form accountable partnerships, and to express gratitude through giving. Today's offering will be shared with Sanctuary Working Group, a solidarity organization that supports and accompanies vulnerable migrants in their journey towards sustainable independence. It's an awesome organization. You may text to give, mail in a check, put cash in the collection bowls, or give from our website. If you write a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering or some other giving. The ushers will now come forward to pass the collection bowls down the rows. Please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy.
In the Pixar movie Inside Out 2, Riley's core emotions are looking for her sense of self. That was banished to the back of Riley's mind. The arrival of puberty and Riley's new emotion, anxiety, envy, ennui, and embarrassment have taken over her emotional headquarters. Joy, anger, disgust, and fear are on a quest to rescue Riley's sense of self, but the journey is not going as planned.
We're getting deeper and deeper in, Joy.
Great observation. The long wait did turn out to be a little longer than expected. Anyway, who wants to sing a song?
Oh, I know a song. It's called I Give Up.
Or we could play the quiet game. 1, 2, 3, hush.
I'll tell you what we do. We go back up there and we kick those...
Anger, now is not the time.
Joy, this is useless. Real Riley is out there somewhere and we're never going to find her.
No, I can find her. I just need to get a better view. Okay, this isn't working, and that's fine. Everything's fine.
This is hopeless. I say we cut our losses and just walk back.
This trip is just a series of deader and never ends.
Ever since that puberty alarm went off, nothing around here works the way it's supposed to.
I don't even recognize this place anymore. It's light out at 1 in the morning.
I've seen so many new emotions in my life. I've never seen so many emotions in my life.
And the Riley we knew is gone.
And if Joy can't see that, well, then she's just delusional.
Delusional? Of course I'm delusional. Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain? Jiminy mother-loving toaster strudel! We can't even find the back of our own mind. Anxiety was right. Riley doesn't need us as much as she needs them, and that hurts. It really hurts.
Joy, you've made a lot of mistakes. A lot. And you'll make a whole lot more in the future. But if you let that stop you, we might as well lie down and give up now.
Well, actually, that does sound kind of nice.
Come on, hop up.
Look, I can see Riley's sense of self.
What she needs is a spark of joy. We're right behind you.
Last weekend, I went to a protest about the current administration and Elon Musk. After the protest, I felt good about doing it. It brought me joy. I enjoy knowing I'm making a change, whether it's protesting for change or helping in my community. That leaves me with a sense of joy that will last a while. Speaking of joy, what does it mean? It means a great feeling of pleasure. I also like playing football, biking, cello, and video games. These are my hobbies, and they might be different from all of you. So I ask you, what do you think? What things do you enjoy?
I count myself among the lucky few who derive true and deep joy from the work that I do. For those of you who haven't been subject to me talking your ear off about it, I currently work in special recreation, which is the Park District counterpart to special education. I work with people of all ages, with all kinds of disabilities, to facilitate their access to recreation programs that they would otherwise not be able to participate in. I mostly work with youth, teens, and young adults. And when considering how I wanted to reflect on joy, the participants that I work with immediately sprung to mind. I am a firm believer that disabled people should not be treated as inspiration for able-bodied, neurotypical people to look to when they're feeling down. However, I do believe that observing and drawing from the life experiences of lots of different people can lead to a broader appreciation of life and all it has to offer. If you've ever had the opportunity to engage with an autistic person and the joy they feel surrounding their special interest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. On Friday, I took a group of young adults to get bubble tea smoothies and take a tour of the Skokie Police Department. While I love bubble tea, I was feeling a little bit wary about taking a tour of a police department. One of the participants on this trip was a young woman who's close to my age that I've known for my whole career of 4 years. I'm going to call her Nina to protect her privacy, but she's a dear friend of mine. She has some very particular habits and mannerisms, including talking about herself in the third person, which some people find tiresome, but I find delightful. Once we were inside the bubble tea place, she latched onto the idea of getting a slice of strawberry cake, which was pictured on the menu, but not an item actually available. As I tried to help Nina process this, while waiting for her smoothie to be made, I was worried that her reaction, what her reaction would be when she received her decidedly not cake smoothie. As it turned out, I had no reason to worry. The minute she received her smoothie, she had forgotten the notion of poking the plastic seal with a straw and opted instead to peel the lid completely off, stick her straw in, and slurp it down before anyone else had even gotten their smoothie. I don't know how she didn't get a brain freeze. Finally, we arrived for our tour of the police station, and as my anxiety mounted, Nina was focused on one thing: the comfort dog and her handler walking in through the back door. As soon as she saw them, she began squealing and laughing, holding onto my arm, equal parts nervous and exhilarated at the idea of petting this dog. It took 3 attempts. Each time, Nina would stand about 3 feet away from the dog, pet the air, and after many attempts of me showing her that it was safe to pet the dog, the closest we got was placing a single finger on the dog's back, running it about 2 inches down, and ran back to her seat, delighted, and of course in the third person, exclaiming, "You pet the dog!"
When I first attempted reflecting on joy, I honestly found it difficult. Needless to say, everything right now feels pretty heavy with the news I hear in our country and around the world. Also, personally, after being in school for most of my life, I am adjusting to structuring my own days, which I am grateful for, but also feels overwhelming at times. So I struggle to express the ways joy appears in my life, so I just started making a list of things that bring me joy. I set a timer for 6 minutes, and once I got going, I was surprised at just how many things bring me joy. A few of the things I wrote about were cuddling with my cat, snowy days, riding my bike, teaching, watching the squirrels play in the trees, Lake Michigan, the funny things my 3-year-old niece says, and, of course, ice cream. Just thinking of these things makes me smile. They make me put aside the heaviness of what I heard on the news, and for a moment, it all fades because there's a bird outside my window singing beautifully, or because I can feel the wind on my face as I ride by on my bike. In a world of external pressures, to me, joy really does feel like a form of resistance. It's genuine and honest, and it cannot be controlled by someone else's narrative. No matter how much someone wants me to support drilling for more oil, my joy does not care. My joy loves the trees and all of nature and wants to protect it. No matter how much someone tries to convince me that it's not worth investing in public education, my joy will not listen. My joy loves seeing students discover the world around them and express themselves. My joy has a mind of its own, and it does not follow greed or fear. But as I mentioned, sometimes I feel joy fade when I'm overwhelmed. And one of the ways I find it again is through communities like this one here at UCE. I love that every person's unique form of joy is celebrated here, and that joy is contagious. I love hearing the joy in the choir, the music, not to mention the spontaneous dancing. I love the joyful wisdom in the sermons. I love hearing the perspectives of the young people in our community. I love seeing the trees and the birds through these windows. And I love being in a supportive community where each person's joy is beloved and valuable. It is such a gift to have friends, family, and community that bring me back to the joy that makes me stop everything and smile.
Joy is a feeling of great pleasure, as the wise Teddy just said, and is also a practice, a decision, something to cultivate and tend to help sustain us in the moments when that good feeling is nowhere to be found. And you know who's good at helping to cultivate that feeling of joy? Babies. A few weeks ago, my friend Jessica was visiting for 4 days with her 2-year-old Nori. Some of you got to meet them when they joined us for church that Sunday. And if you haven't lived with a toddler in a while, they do really help you see the world with wonder and to experience the range of human emotions, from joy to excitement to tired to frustrated to enraged and back to joy within a matter of minutes. During their visit, we packed a lot of fun into a short amount of time. We went to the orchid show and the aquarium and the zoo and the exploratorium and Kids Empire, which is an indoor playground right in the Valley parking lot. Anyone been to Kids Empire? Okay, it's filled with ball pits and giant slides and what I think of as the human habit trail, you know, like what you might build for a hamster, but for people. Climbing through the many levels of plastic platforms and netting with Nori to get to the top of a giant slide, very steep, way too steep for a 2-year-old. Holding her hand as we slid down together at top speed, it was impossible to not feel joy. It's easy to think of joy as fun and frivolous or even selfish when the world is on fire. But as the poet Joy Dericote said and Aidan shared, joy is an act of resistance. It is a powerful truth that I hold on to in these times when it feels hard to know how to resist the onslaught of unchecked hate and fear coming at us every day. Practicing joy takes courage and intention. It is revolutionary, countercultural, and essential to movements of liberation. If you think about all of the people-powered movements that have overcome tyranny and oppression through the ages, there is a necessary ingredient in all of them, a belief in and willingness to fight for the fundamental joy and beauty of life. It's why oppressors and fascists try to stifle joy, to grow despair, and sever connection. So yes, to cultivate joy, to notice it and focus on it, to help it grow and spread and reach out to others is a way of resisting tyranny and a revolutionary path toward liberation. Sometimes guilt can keep us from appreciating joy. We might wonder how we can be happy when so many are suffering. But that mindset of scarcity only works if you think of joy as a zero-sum game. Of course it's not. Joy, like love, is something that grows the more you give it away. It is our right and our responsibility to plant seeds of joy and cultivate hope in opposition to the forces that would have us give up on ourselves and each other. So again, where do you find joy, as Teddy asked? Some of you shouted out, dancing, music, what else? Gardening, baking, dogs, playing hide and seek with a 3-year-old, magic, simply magic, bubbles, you know, hula hoops. There's like so many things that could just bring you that explosion of joy. But joy doesn't need to be big and explosive or a rush of glee. It doesn't need to last more than a moment for it to have an impact. In these times, it is enough for us to notice and spread the little seeds of joy, like tiny tendrils from a seedling that stretch and reach to the next tendril and build a strong underground network of life support, a network that then sends up other shoots of life, breaking through the rich, dark soil into the light. Joy that is noticed and tended to, grows and spreads and nourishes. For me, joy is birdsong. The cardinals above me with their sharp trill cutting through the crisp blue sky. It is the fat mama robins hopping on the grass and flying low to their hidden nests with that chirp, 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 chirp. It is the hyacinths bursting through the wet brown leaves, reminding me of the investment I made last fall when I tucked them away in their beds. It is the warm snuggle of a 4-legged friend or the sound of their clacking claws on the pavement as we walk our familiar route. It is the feeling of coming together in community, to sing, to breathe, to share meaningful stories, to act for justice and build connection. It is the moments of forgiveness that come after a rupture, and with enough time, patience and care, a deeper understanding. I've been asked what keeps me going in these times, and as I strive to help nourish and uplift other souls, and a big part of the answer is all of you. You bring me joy. Even when you are hurting and struggling to find it, you bring me joy in witnessing your effort, your care for the world. It has been such a joy to work on this service with all of you. It is a joy to watch people of all ages grow through challenge and in beloved community. And I tell you, yesterday's anti-oppression task force event, Cultivating Hope, brought me great joy yesterday. It was a joy to witness people showing up to continue to learn and make commitments to uphold the work, the shared project of dismantling oppression and building beloved community. Though the work is hard, it doesn't have to be drudgery. It is work done through deep relationships of trust and connection, of taking our sorrow and grief for what is and has been destroyed and finding companions in the pursuit of possibility. You'll notice these garden paintings on the wall and the seeds of commitment folks have been adding to it. You can add your seeds too. There's little paper seeds and pens and glue sticks there on the table right in front of them. And I invite you to ask yourself in what ways you are committed to sharing ownership and power through justice efforts. In what ways can you work on being more radically hospitable and inclusive? What are your seeds that you're planting in the garden of possibility and connection in this beloved community? Joy takes courage. It requires us to trust that its brief, sparkling moments are worth our attention. What we focus on, what we turn our attention toward grows and expands. Joy as resistance means paying attention to the little things in life, the brief encounters of kindness, the splashes of beauty all around us, the small acts of courage that rise in opposition to meanness and cruelty. Sometimes it means laughing at the absurdity of people in power acting like petulant toddlers. We do need to pay attention to difficult realities. We need to stay awake, no matter how demonized wokeness is. And we also need to work on balance, holding the outrage while boosting our immune systems with seeds of joy. When joy is shared, it grows. Joy noticed and attended to expands and fills in the spaces of loneliness, fear, hate, and despair. Can we pause a few moments longer on whatever joys pop up in our daily lives? When taking my morning walk and listening to the headlines, can I stop a moment, take my AirPods out, and listen to the sound of the sparrows? Can I bend down and smell the hyacinth? Can I notice what is joyful to the toddler or the elder and try to see what they're seeing, to feel what they might be feeling? Can I listen to someone else's pain, and can we find together the joy of deeper connection? Shared joy can dispel, even if only for a moment, the fear and divisions tearing at us. In the words of writer Maria Popova, in this world heavy with robust reasons for despair, joy is a stubborn courage we must not surrender, a fulcrum of personal power we must not yield to cynicism, blame, or any other costume of helplessness. And when the war within rages, as it does in every life, the practice of joy, the courage of joy, becomes our mightiest frontier of resistance. So the next time you feel that little spark of joy, however small, I invite you to linger on it just a moment longer. Notice what your senses are telling you about the moment. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, feel? What's in your gut? Write it down if you can. Keep a joy journal like Ross Gay did in creating the Book of Delights. And may each of us find joy in as many places as we can. And when we do, let us share them as much as possible with strangers and friends alike. May our individual joys expand out and create a network of love for this life of mutual strength and collective courage. And may our joy sustain us all through whatever difficulties lie ahead until each of us and all of us are liberated. Amen, and blessed be.
we extinguish the chalice, please join in saying the words on the screen by the Reverend Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn.
Thank you and hooray for our youth and young adults. I should say this is a representative body of the youth and young adults. There are many of you out there, but it has been such a delight to work with you all. So let us take our shared joys and small joys and scatter them like seeds to grow where they will. And may we lovingly nurture their tiny shoots so they might grow and flourish until all of us, every single one of us, can flourish through whatever this world offers us. Let us go making peace and building beloved community. Amen.